Hello, 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 sellers. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers. This is important because eBay's really sort of thrown us a major left hook. And to be doing it right at fourth quarter for 2025, I think is a bit much. But let's strategize. Let's work on this. Let's minimize the pain and minimize eBay dipping even more into our pockets, okay? If you don't know me, I'm Kathy. I love to be selling. Even with the eBay fee changes, I love to be selling. You can catch me on my Facebook business page. I live stream. Also my YouTube channel, Kathy Terrill, I love to be selling. And my podcast, Kathy Terrill, I love to be selling. Thank you for all the downloads. So if you don't know, and I'm going to take you to the page, eBay's dramatically changing the way it charges us for promoted listings. They call it attribution. And what that means is it's the way they are going to decide if something gets a promoted listing fee or not. Okay. So let me just pull up the page so you know, and this is on eBay community. So you just go on the eBay website, navigate to community, look at announcements, and you'll see all of this. So I just want to show this to you. And it's pretty awful. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I love eBay. I love selling on eBay, but this is really pretty outrageous. And to be doing it right in the beginning of fourth quarter, after all the yay eBay party stuff for eBay's 30th anniversary is just a bit much. So there's this announcement, and the fees are changing. And basically the way it's changing, I'm going to sort of cut to the chase, and I encourage you to read it through, is so the way eBay promoted listings general, we're talking general, not advanced, okay? If you want information about the changes to advanced, just comment below wherever you're listening to this. I will certainly do upcoming videos on that, but I want to stick to promoted listings general. So the way it is now, when you promote an item, you choose a fee anywhere from 2% up, and you can promote items and you put them into campaigns. Okay, you can change the rates, you can move them up, you can move them down no lower than 2%. When eBay first started promoted listings, we could promote for as little as 1%. eBay soon discovered a lot of people were doing that, so they raised the minimum to 2%. Okay, eBay, fine. With promoted listings general, what's good about it is it's pay per sale. So I promote the item. I'm looking for stuff. I promote the item like my orange pen for a certain amount. And if somebody clicks the item and buys it from a promoted placement, and if you're on eBay, when you're searching, you'll see it says sponsored. That means it's a promoted placement. Then the seller is charged a fee. Okay. There's also the halo effect, which went into works, I'm going to say like a couple of years now, we've had the halo effect, which means if they click your pen in your promotion and they saw it in a sponsored placement, and then they go to another one of your listings, this is true with or without an eBay store, and the other item is promoted, it will count as a promoted listings fee. I don't have a problem with that because they discovered it from my item. Then they went and bought another item that was promoted from eBay promoting my pen. Okay. And this is what stinks. And this is what the change is going to be. And it goes into effect January 13th. Okay. And just for you, because you need to mark your calendars, because that sounds very nice. Oh, it's after the holidays. It's going to start attributing, I can't think of any other way, or data collecting 30 days before. So if an item is promoted from December 13th on, and they click it, so it's promoted and they click it, and then someone else, and I'll explain this, after the January 13th deadline, it will count as a promoted listing sale. Okay. And that's the change. You promote the pen, it gets clicked. It has what's called a 30-day cookie. So from that initial click, anybody who comes in and buys the pen, even if they did not come from a promoted placement, it came from organic search. They just found it. They were just looking for orange pens. They were in your store looking at something else, and they came and landed on your pen. It counts as a promoted listing sale. and this is what is frustrating sellers no end, is I don't mind promoted listings at this point. I control it. I control the rate. I decide what items I want to put into my promoted listings campaign. What I dislike so intensely about this change and really feel like it's a fee grab is that eBay's not doing any work if it sells from a non-promoted placement. eBay promotes my item. It gets clicked once, gets shown to one buyer. And then if anybody else buys it, no matter how they find it, right? Organic search, from my hard work on social media, for those of us that do social media, eBay's charging me a promoted listings fee. It's like, you got to be kidding me. And yes, they are. And some folks think it's going to roll back. I don't think so, because they did this in Europe over the summer and they haven't rolled it back. So I'm here to go. It stinks. What can we do? Okay. eBay's doing this. They're rolling it out. They've announced it during fourth quarter. Thank you, eBay. What can we do to minimize the pain and minimize the real fees? I mean, this can really be really take a lot of money out of your bank account. So what can we do to minimize this? One, I do encourage you to let eBay know what you think, and to do it respectfully so that they listen. Yelling and screaming is great, but I find what's best, and certainly, if you want to yell and scream, go right ahead. But I find what's best is just to say, you know what, this really stinks, and explain why. Okay. I want data. I don't mind doing a promoted listing, or I've accepted the fact that I need to do promoted listings or whatever with promoted listings, but I want data. I want to know that it's coming from the promotion. So one, I encourage you to get a hold of eBay and to make your voice heard. And for those of you who say, oh, eBay doesn't care and eBay doesn't listen, they do. And they actually record when there's feedback on certain policies or feedback on whatever. They actually, community members go to the various places where, and I mean community staff, go to the various places where eBay is, and they're recording it, and it's passed on to higher ups. So I was thinking there's 3 ways to get a hold of eBay, that eBay will listen to us. And one is to go to their Facebook page. And if you don't know what it looks like, I'm going to pull it up, because I know there's confusion on this because they shut down the eBay for Business page, but there is an eBay corporate page. So let me just show you that. So of course I clicked like a million things. Hang on a second. I get a lot of messages on Facebook, so hang on. So what you're going to want to do, stay put, is go on their, for those of you that are on Facebook, is go on their Facebook corporate page. This is ebay.com. Okay. Not an eBay selling group run by wonderful sellers. eBay corporate page that's monitored by the eBay community team and customer service. And that's why you want it, because you want it on record that you are not happy with this. So this is what, of course, it's like showing weird stuff. So hang on a second. There we go. Stop doing that, eBay. There we go. Okay. Go to eBay corporate page and go, eBay, I think this stinks. But explain why. Because I want to know where it's coming from. I want to know where my sales coming from. Not that it could be anywhere, because now with the way they're doing it, it's not necessarily a direct click from a promoted listings campaign. So this is their corporate page. And what you're going to want to do, I see some people actually commenting on posts for different things, and you can certainly do that. Or you can just hit message, and it is I can't even talk anymore. The customer service team gets that, and it's usually U.S. customer service. So you can message through the eBay corporate page. The next thing you can do is go to community. And if you're not aware of this, on the eBay site, if you scroll to the bottom of any page, typically it says sitemap, and typically there is a, hang on a second, there's a tab for community. And that's where that announcement about promoted listings, that was in community. So let me just show you what the community tab looks like if you've never encountered community. And again, you're going to go there and you're going to post. There's a tab or community on advertising, and you can comment on that. You can also comment on announcements. Sometimes they turn comments off. So I go to advertising, and I see posts already where people are giving feedback about the policy. You can like or comment on somebody else's post or create your own post. So let me just show you that on community. Community is always a good place to go to see what eBay's up to. Now, realize too with this, and I've sort of seen eBay's responses already. Typically, the kind of response you're going to get is, I call it the be warm and be filled. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but at this point, that's what I'm doing, so I don't start screaming. What you're going to do is, so here on the eBay, where are we? eBay. See all the way down here, it says eBay community. You'll click that, and that's what lands you here on this announcements board. And here on the announcements board here, you can look at buying and selling and click eBay advertising. That would be a good place to leave feedback about this policy. And again, the reason you're doing this is to speak up. You know, it's one thing when we talk to our fellow sellers, and I've been getting a lot of messages and also having some very good conversations with fellow sellers on this, but you want to let eBay know. And you might think, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter, because they do calculate and they do listen. And you got to let them know when you're really unhappy about something. It is worth speaking up. I'm a member of eBay Main Street as an ambassador, and I know when there's government policies that we're unhappy with, like a lot of times right now we're talking about cross-border trade, you know, to help us as sellers so that we can ship all around the world. You know, congressmen pay attention to the emails from sellers. It does matter. We've gotten some really terrific things happen for us as sellers over the years through emailing our government officials. So government officials listen, eBay listens. It is worth speaking up. Regardless of what eBay does about this, you can just know, as you know what, I did my best. I spoke up. I let them know what I thought. Okay. But what I'm seeing for most of the posts so far, you know, the eBay response is, you know, we appreciate your feedback and here's the policy. It's like, okay. And again, I call it the be warm and be filled. So go on the Facebook page, go on community and post advertising and let people know. And the other thing is to go on eBay's Instagram account. And eBay actually has an Instagram account for sellers. Now, they haven't done any posts on the update for promoted listings, probably because they know what sellers think. But what you can do, if you're not aware of this, one is you can message through Instagram. So you can message, and it is answered by the team. The other thing, and they may not answer you, but it is logged by the team. The Instagram account is eBay for sellers. And let me just put this up and see if you can see this. Can you see this? No, the camera's not showing it. Can you see from here? If I do it here? Not really. eBay for sellers. And you'll see, like right now, it's got a post up about your holiday checklist. You can put underneath it, you know, my holiday checklist is to review the changes to eBay promoted listings. And you can also tap message and let them know. Okay, so that's tip number one, speak out. Okay, and let them know. Let them know why you don't like it. Okay, so tip number one, go to Facebook page, Instagram community. Tip two, you need to look at your sales. You're going to see a lot of information coming out from sellers about what this is going to do to your fees. The information that I see from the sellers in Germany is, for many of them, their fees literally went up. And again, they're promoted listings fees. This is not final value fees. Went up by up to 80%. So more than doubled. That's general. And also some of the people putting out the data could be trying to fan the flames. You need to know what your data is. And believe it or not, it's not under the advertising dashboard. Because I actually poked around. I'm like, okay, eBay. And this is what I wanted to tell you, because I was watching football the other night, is game on. Okay, so football players, my husband's a big Buffalo Bills fan. So football players, I was thinking about this, and also my grandson plays hockey. But football players, right? First of all, they're in shape. They're conditioned. I'm sure there's certain foods that they focus on, you know, especially when they know a big game is coming up. So they're conditioned. And then they put on the gear they need to protect themselves during the game. Okay. And I'm not a football player, but I'm remembering from back in high school, you know, the shoulder pads. Okay. New York City. The shoulder pads, the mouth guard, the helmet, right? So I was thinking for us as sellers is, you know what? Game on, eBay. Put on your pads, because you're going to protect yourself, and you need to know your numbers to do that. Our numbers is our padding. You've got to know your numbers to deal with this. And again, it's great to listen to other sellers, but you need to know your numbers because it's going to vary on the categories that you're selling in. It's also going to vary on the percentages that you promote. And it's going to vary if you're a multi-quantity seller. Because for multi-quantity, think about this. You just get that one promoted placement and one click on your multi-variation or your multi-quantity listing. And then for 30 days, anybody who finds that listing for any amount of shirts or any amount of batteries or any amount of socks or whatever is in your multi-quantity listing gets a promoted listing fee. Okay. Game on. Put that padding on. I wish I had padding. I was looking around, I was like, there's anything. Put the padding on. Okay. It's to protect you. That's your numbers. And this is how you find your promoted listings number. And again, it's interesting because it's not under your dashboard. Where you're going to go, you need to be on a laptop or desktop. I did this on my PC. It's under performance. Okay. So the tabs across the top on Seller Hub, go to performance and you go to sales. It gives you the ability to compare it to the past month, or you can custom it. Up to you. I just did the past month. I also did the current month, which is October to the beginning of November. And I compared it to the same period in 2024. Okay. So I was just, and it was very similar. So, but you should check for you. Okay. Scroll down, look at your numbers, scroll down, keep going. Okay. What you're interested in is about 3/4 of the way down. It's going to say all sales, promoted sales, offer sales, and it has a cute little graph. Click promoted sales. Again, it's great to look at all sales, but you want promoted sales because what we're after is how much money are we spending on promoted listings now? Okay, remember, game on. This is your protection. Okay, this is your padding. And then you're going to look at it. And it has a very good graph with organic sales. That means you are not paying eBay promoted listings fees in blue. In green, it shows promoted sales. And it's very interesting. And you're also going to see traffic. You're going to see a black thing, prior time period, excuse me. So organic, promoted, and prior time period. And you get to see total number of sales, promoted sales. And I looked at 2 accounts, both soup to nuts sellers. One was more of a jewelry seller and the other one was more of a clothing seller. Okay. For my clothing seller, it was 57.9% of their sales were from promoted sales. This is a seller that does promoted listings general. I didn't look at people with promoted listings advanced. Okay. Organic was 42. So it's about half and half, with a little more than half going to promoted listings. Currently, this seller promotes everything in promoted listings general. And that's what I'm saying. You've got to look at your numbers. And when people are throwing numbers at you, and they're going to try and scare you, and I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to get the padding on you because I want you to have money in your bank account. Okay. eBay, I'm glad to sell on your site. I'm glad to give you fees. I'm here to help us keep money in our bank accounts so we're profitable as sellers so that we can continue to sell on eBay. Okay. How can I protect myself with this new promoted listings way they're going to assess our fees? So right now it's a little over half in the current way. Okay. In the current way, a little over half. Then the next, and this is under the sales tab. Okay. The next thing you want is scroll under the pretty graph and it gives you selling costs. Okay, it's great to look at that. Don't look at that. You want breakdown. It's right to the right of it. eBay fees. Click the down arrow. For some reason, you have to click the down arrow to discover your eBay ad fees. And that's what you want to know. A little over half of my sales are coming from promoted listings general. If you're doing advanced things, you're going to have to break it down more. Okay. And from that, you're going to see insertion fees, final value fee, ad fee. And underneath it says general, by the way, in case you're doing an advanced campaign. Okay. And for this seller, the ad fee, so with a little over half, their ad fees were $108. The percentage of selling cost, this is a lot of math, was 5.6%, with a little over 5. And you've got to realize that there's a very good chance that you'll go to 80% or more. And if you're all multi-quantity, there's a very good chance you'll go to 100%. And you need to do the math. If 58% of my sales are coming from promoted listings, and it's hang on a second, let me go back to the math, and it's 5.6% of the selling cost, and that's all of eBay fees, then how much more? So let's just say it's $108 for 58, and then you do the math. If I'm going to go 30% higher, how much more is that? And then you got to look at it. And then you look at so step number 1, speak out to eBay. Step number 2, go and look at what your percentage of promoted listings are. Fees. How much sold through promoted listings? For you, it might only be 20%. That's what I'm saying. You got to go and look at your numbers, because you'll be hearing people going, oh, it's going to go up 80 and 90. But for you, you get a lot of sales from organic and very low from promoted. You might not promote all your items for various reasons. Okay. For something that's really, truly unique, maybe you've been doing promoted listings because you figure, what the heck, it's going to help me in search. If it's a high ticket item, you may decide not to do that. Okay. So that's what I'm saying, is you got to go and look. You got to look at your numbers. You got to see the percentage of your sales that are coming from promoted listings. And for something like 58%, is you're gonna think about that. There's a very good chance it's going to go to 80 or 90%. And if you want to really cover yourself, go to that 100% is going to come from it. And then you look at your percentages. Okay. So tip 1, let eBay know what you think. Tip 2, you must look at your sales. Okay. And look at what the percentage is. Number 3, your cost will increase. I don't see any way for it not to go up. I don't see any way with the way they're attributing it, because all you got to do is get one promoted listings click that's a true promoted listings click, because eBay's promoting it. And then anybody that buys the item within the next 30 days, it's a promoted listings fee. So there's no way your fees aren't going to go up if you're promoting the item. Okay. So that's tip 3, is know that your costs are going to go up, and you got to look at what it could possibly be. Okay, that's tip 3. Tip 4, what am I going to do about it? So tip 4, will I factor it in? You might have killer margins, and you're like, you know what? I'm okay with this. I'm not thrilled that eBay's going to get more money out of me. I don't like it that eBay's going to get more money out of me. But you know what? I can stay the course, because I have killer margins. I'm selling at 60, 70, 80% margins. I can afford it. Okay. So that's step 4, is that you stay the course. And step 5 is you're going to change. Is it going to go down? Okay. Or are you going to pull, for instance, like with the real true vintage, very unique collectible stuff, am I just going to pull it out? Okay. And that's step 5. What do I do? Do I lower the rate? Do I pull items out of the rate? So those are my 5 tips for you. Okay. Number 1, speak up. 2, go and look at your sales. And remember, it's not under the ads tab. You would think it would be. It's not. It's under sales, and it's under performance. And you need to look at your fees, and it's your ad fees. It's interesting to look at the other fees too, but put the blinkers on. Okay. Go and look at your fees. Okay. 3, your costs will go up. The only way they won't go up is if you pull everything out of promoted listings, which personally I don't recommend, but it's certainly a choice you can make. So 3, know your costs are going to go up. 4, you have killer margins. It's like, Kathy, I'm okay. I'm not thrilled I'm giving more money to eBay, but I can do it. And 5 is you adjust. And remember, because this is where I got caught, and thankfully a seller messaged me. I was like, thank you, fellow seller. Because it doesn't go into effect until January 13th. So you're thinking, oh, I got till January, I can get through Christmas. It's a little quiet, right before the holiday. I can take a look at it then. Don't do that, because they start attributing in December 13th, which means if it's in a promotion and it gets a click from the 13th on, it can count as a promoted listings fee as of January 13th, no matter how they find it. Does this stink? Yes. Is this another way for eBay to get more money out of me? Yes. Without eBay doing any more work? Yes. And what's really frustrating, besides the fact that fee increased, I really don't know how the buyer found my item. It's going to be attributed to promoted listings, but I don't know. And eBay's not telling me. So that can be one thing that we can push for, which is, okay, this stinks. We don't like it. But let us know. Was the sale a true promoted listing sale? Or was it, you can call it Halo if you want. Call it whatever you want. Or was it just a post-click promoted listing sale? Let us know. Communicate with us. Give us information, because it helps us as sellers. Okay. That's what I don't like about this, is you're handicapping me. You're taking important data away from me. I really don't know if this 2% rate is working or 4% rate's working. All I know is I'm getting assessed fees, which really stinks. Okay. And trust me, I have said so to eBay and will continue to say so to eBay, because I'm here for you. I love eBay and I love selling on eBay. There's things that the flexibility can't be beat. Okay. I sell on other platforms too, but eBay is my main home, and eBay staff are terrific people. I love working with eBay staff. This policy stinks. It's a money grab. I get eBay needs more profits. There's some other ways they could have gone about it, I think, that would have been better. Or if you're going to take more money off of me, give me the data so I can understand what's going on. I do have tips for you that are specifically about holiday selling. If you are not aware of it, which makes this whole thing even more interesting, is it's one less selling week this year between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So it is even more important than ever to really be optimized, to be game on for the holiday selling season. And if you think maybe you're going, but Kathy, I don't have Christmas ornaments, I don't have Christmas sweaters. So much sells for the holidays. It's such an all-encompassing thing, and all kinds of things are giftable for the holidays. So regardless of what you sell, there's a lot more traffic on the eBay site right now, because people are holiday shopping. And even though you may sell, I'm thinking my friend Joe, even though you may be selling hubcaps, people come in looking for toys, and they come in looking for a Christmas sweater, and they're like, oh, you know what, by the way, I need a hubcap. And then they're going to land on my friend Joe's store. Okay. So you may be selling business and industrial. You may be selling, toner, and thank you for those of us that sell toner, for those of us that need it for our printers. You will get holiday traffic, and there's things that you can do for your listings, regardless of what you're selling, that are going to get you holiday traffic. And I'm here to share that with you. It's free. If you don't know, I have extensive background in retail, working in very large retail stores here in New York City for years and years and years, actually over 15 years. I actually worked at Macy's during many, many Christmas holiday seasons. So I can tell you all about that, and about people visiting Santa and Holiday Lane. But so I have tons of tips for you. And these are about optimizing your listings and choices you can make with and without an eBay store that can really get you more sales this holiday season. Again, regardless of what you're selling. And it's the eBay Seller Sleigh List, Christmas tips that sell. So do grab that. It's a super, super help. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you sell more on eBay. And I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Yes, I still love to be selling on eBay. Bye-bye, everybody.